Have you ever heard of the water scarcity problem? We bet you have. Some of the main reasons behind this problem are rapid population growth, urbanization, and increasing demands in the agriculture industry and energy sectors. Having undeniably vital resources in our lives, ecosystems are destroyed by deteriorated water sources and excessive water usage. Moreover, according to the United Nations, water scarcity is an increasing problem on every continent, with poorer communities being most badly affected. The UN states that approximately 748 million people do not have access to clean drinking water, despite many actions initiated and regulations enacted in the last decade. The UN further asserts that if the current situation continues, 1.6 billion people will be deprived of clean drinking water, and 1.9 billion people will be deprived of basic hygiene, such as hand washing, in the coming years. Okay, so let's categorize the issue into a few topics as the most reliable resource, that is, of course, the United Nations does. Firstly, water is a finite resource. Therefore, it is inevitable for the process of accessing water to become more difficult as the world's population increases dramatically. Surely, resource-intensive economic development also contributes to the finiteness part of the water resources. Secondly, not the climate change, but the climate crisis is making water scarcity worse, since the impacts of the crisis are making resources more unpredictable. As seasons change and terrestrial water storage, that is, water kept in soil, snow and ice, diminishes, water resources deplete. Thirdly, poor and marginalized groups are the hardest hit by water scarcity. The ones with wealth have more resources to access water, which is a direct and simple conclusion. Water scarcity also makes women and girls more vulnerable to physical attack and be excluded from education or work. Lastly, not much data about water scarcity is available. How will we solve the problem if we do not know the exact problem? Many countries still do not have well-developed water monitoring systems, preventing the integrity of water resource management systems that answers the needs of the whole society. But what can we do to deal with water scarcity? Of course, we focus on washing machines. The washing machines are widely used and generally operate at least 4 times a week. Considering that in only one of these washes, the machine consumes nearly 55 liters of water, becoming a great factor that threatens our environment and future, rather than only being a figure reflected on bills. Furthermore, washing machines are not so much so environmentally friendly. For instance, remnant microplastics and detergents that are not recycled in most places are gradually polluting our water resources. To deal with the washing machine's water problem, we designed a product, eCondry. Here's a bit of how it works. eCondry filters out the washing machines and transfers it into a water tank placed on the machine, and the filtered water is reused in subsequent washings by following the same procedures. At the end of each washing, when water levels decrease due to the evaporation caused by heated water and water absorbed on the clothes, another batch of water is filled into the tank from the main water network to replace the loss. But what happens to pollutants in the water? Thanks to our filtration system, the microplastics that threaten our environment are accumulated more and more in the machine and then are destroyed by sending them to solid waste centers when it is time to change eCondry filters. Also, with the help of our filters, the reused water becomes softer and reduces the use of detergents and softeners in half. Thus, not only do we save water, but we also prevent the used water to be polluted. eCondry contributes to the household economy by reducing water bills as well as protecting the environment. It also helps to solve the hygiene problem by using it in places and conditions where access to clean water is very limited. And the water network is disrupted, such as when natural disasters like earthquakes and floods pollute water sources due to destruction in infrastructure systems. Okay. Now you may wonder about our accomplishments now, I guess. Our team Delaval made good rankings with our product eCondry in 2 major competitions held around the world, the Conrad Challenge and the Earth Prize. Let's start with the Earth Prize, which is a competition focused on sustainability, encouraging young people aged 15 to 18 around the world to develop projects on the environment. The teams are asked to develop projects that will contribute to achieving one or more of the 17 sustainability goals of the UN, known as SDGs. Within the scope of the Earth Prize, not only do we send our project report to the judging committee, but we also find the opportunity to further develop our project by getting mentorship from world-famous sustainability entrepreneurs such as Tom Scarcity. We are now in the final stage, with each country being one of the top 10 finalist products that are selected from hundreds of submissions. The Conrad Challenge, on the other hand, is a global competition organized by NASA to support entrepreneurship activities at a young age, as well as sustainability goals. In the challenge, we were qualified to be a finalist in the environment category. We were entitled to be among the top 10 finalist teams worldwide. Now, I want to thank you for witnessing a country's story. Be sure not to waste water.